Yanta, who held her own small meeting there. At the same time, she had about 330 people coming there. Then this one at the top right is a meeting of former president also. Both of them, former president, they're having their own meeting at the same time. We scheduled the APP Ambazonian Peace Plan meeting. So you see how controversial these people are. They are talking of unity, okay? But when people want to talk of unity and bring people together, they don't want it. But as you can see, look at what happened on Thursday. 300 and something people attended the APP meeting that was chaired by President Chris Ano. When you see these other people holding meetings and trying to divert people's attention, they're trying to take away some of the people that were supposed to attend the original APP meeting. But that is what we are talking about. That some people are out just to destroy, just to blackmail and do all kind of things. When people are trying to do something, stay focused, there are people who are just there for evil plan, just doing something negative. But like I said, it is ordained by God. Anything that we do is ordained by God. And no matter what happens, no matter what people are doing, once you have a vision, once your mission is to do something for the good of the people, nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you. Okay? So you see from the exhibit that you see there, you see how even this other image, you see this other image where you see the number there. See the number of people that attended the meeting. It's about 5 times more than any other meeting that has been attended in the recent time. This is one of the highest APP meeting that has ever happened because of the attendance, and people were still there. They wanted to listen to the president. The president spoke a little bit much about his projects. He spoke about the Canadian meeting, and he emphasized that he will not be attending the meeting. So anyone that thinks that I heard some people saying, oh, the meeting will be attended by President Chris Ano, I'm telling them now, no, he is not going to attend that meeting. So people should not take people's name and turn it upside down. When we talk of unity, the president has been emphasizing unity long ago. Okay, but people there say, why are you talking? And we have said this time and again, President Sako, former president, was the one that never wanted unity. He was very angry at Secretary Chris then. Why do you want to talk to Seseko? You are a black leg. If you want to talk to the maybe Ayabacho, oh my God, you are a black leg. You want to talk to these people, you are a black leg. It is just like that. I don't know whether he was afraid of his position or his inferiority complex or what. Because when you are a president, you must be looking at bringing people together. Okay? Bringing people together. But when you see what has been going on in the struggle, the number one divider in chief is former President Sako. He will not accept any form of unity. No form. Even if it's collaboration, he never wanted collaboration. His only idea was that he wanted to be the commander-in-chief. When we are not succeeded in what we are doing, we have to succeed in what we do before we start to think about making a country set up. Okay? But he wanted that authority. You see, that you must answer to him, and that is why he failed, because he wanted that too much authority, that too much power was confided in him, that he never expected that the Restoration Council can impeach him. Yes, he never believed that he could be impeached. So when he was impeached, he said, man, no, I'm going to form my own government. I'm going to go create my own restoration council. I'm going to go. So he just created his own little things there and said that's his own government. You see. Whereas that is against the law. If Ambazonia was had a constitution and institution today, most of any people that go against the constitution will be in jail, because it's treasonous for you to say you even what they call, say you annul or you dissolve a whole parliament. People that are elected, that is the most difficult thing to do, to dissolve a parliament. Any president in the world, I've not heard one president that have succeeded to do that. No one. Because you cannot dissolve an elected officials that have been sent from their constituencies. You dissolve them. You say they are representative. They are representing their people. And if you look at it today, the number one thing that the United Nations told our people back then, when they went to the United Nations, was that they should ask all their parliamentarians to leave the La Republic House of Assembly. But you know how La Republic is. They have fooled these people with money. They'll give them lavish things. They'll keep them in lavish hotels. Fool all these parliamentarians. That's why most of them are still in Yaoundé. They cannot come back. That is the only bond that we have with La Republic as I'm speaking today. The only bond that we have with La Republic is the parliamentarians and the few senators that are there. Because if they come back, like our people left the house of Nigeria in Enugu, it's over. That's the only thing that we have now, like this, connecting us between us and La Republic, are the parliamentarians and the few senators that are there. You remember, we did not elect them because election did not hold in Ambazonia. They elected themselves. They were appointed by the same regime. So they're answerable to them. They're not answerable to the people. They don't represent anybody. The few opposition people that were there, they have been killed. The Mbandam, the senator, this man that was also killed. All of them. Chief Mukete, now trying to say, oh, we need something. He was killed. This other one there, the only Honorable Wiba had to run. Wiba had to run for his life. He was being searched. But I want you to listen to the president. He has been emphasizing on this aspect of collaboration and unity. And he sounded the alarm long ago, but nobody listened. Sako was so adamant to that. Instead, he was termed, oh, there's this. When the president mentioned, listen to the president.
To continue with this war, because they know how much the war is eating deep into the economic and political fabric, social fabric of La République du Cameroon, which is why it is dangerous. Which is why, let me put it this way, we have to put our house in order. We have to put our house in order. And when I talk about our house, I am referring to the leadership of Ambazonia, the different stakeholders in Ambazonia as a whole. Because if Mr. Biya is gone and they bring in somebody else, ladies and gentlemen, that person would want to sit down and negotiate, and we must negotiate with one voice, nothing else but a free and independent Ambazonia. Again, listen to me carefully. Whoever takes over in La République du Cameroon would want to sit down and negotiate with Ambazonians, which is why Ambazonians must show themselves to be ready. Let's forget about the cacophony out there, the call infighting. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, there may be infighting, but listen, the road or the route remains the same, the destination remains the same. I am looking forward to these days, talking to all the leaders, all the major leaders, stakeholders in this struggle because it is critical. It is.
So you can listen to the president emphasizing this is why he was a Secretary of State under Sako, emphasizing on the fact of collaboration and unity, but they never listened. They were looking at him, oh, he's, take a listen, because he is emphasizing this, why he was saying about the issues that were happening. And he even mentioned about the infighting that was going on within the cabinet. He signaled all this, nobody listened to him. He was instead termed as the bad seed in the house when he was raising alarm and went to report this matter to the Restoration Council. He was termed as a bad person. But listen.
Critical that we come together and think about what happens when Yaoundé is leaderless or going through a transition. Ladies and gentlemen, I was told by people in Somaliland that, you know what? They were able to take control of their country not because there was no political leadership in Somalia, not because they defeated Somalia. No, they were able to take control of their country. I'm referring to Somaliland. They were able to take control of their country, ladies and gentlemen, because of the transition in Somalia, where their leaders were fighting to take over who leads that country, Somalia. And the Somalilanders seized the opportunity.
Yes, so he was also signaling to Sako back then that, please, we have an opportunity here. The opportunity was about the transition that is going to take place there in La Republic. The transition of, so they have to use this opportunity to build something, so that, because if you are a visionary, you know that things going forward, you have to work under that canopy of collaboration, with the other parties, because two of you cannot be, or three of you cannot be, and this one is going to say this, this one is going to say this. If you have like a negotiation process, how are you going to go and talk without talking first as a body before going to have a joint voice? Okay, that was the alarm he was blowing back then. But former President Sako was very adamant. He never listened to all these things that he was trying to say. Okay, he was saying that there's an opportunity, and moving forward, there was supposed to be a kind of conglomerate plan, okay, kind of synergy that they were supposed to create, so that they can use that as an opportunity in terms of negotiation, in terms of working as a team, in terms of having a joint voice. Because when you go and meet people and you are just saying this, one saying that, there's no function. If Sako was somebody who is a visionary, would have listened to what Secretary Chris was telling him. Sako was so focused on leadership, in fighting things within the leadership, that what is going to happen in La Republic and Cameroon as a whole, that he wasn't even thinking of consulting maybe the Siseko camp or the Ayaba camp or the other groups to have that kind of synergy when it comes to having a joint statement. That is what makes a struggle powerful, when all the leaders, whether you are a group, you are leaders, you are what, if you people have a joint statement, they know that you put it together. Collaboration doesn't mean that you work, this one has to leave his own group and come to this group. That's not collaboration. That's what the president was signaling. But they did not understand his vision.
Took their country and they kept it up till today. As Yaoundé begin to think of these transitions, ladies and gentlemen, as Yaoundé begin to think and plan for these transitions, we in Ambazonia must begin to plan too. We must not miss an opportunity that could give us our country. And again, I would really love to reach out to every stakeholder in Ambazonia in the coming days. We have to discuss the way forward as we see Yaoundé making these changes. And by the way, you would think that in La République du Cameroon, where they have a prime minister, of course, succession does not give a prime minister leadership. Of course not. Their constitution says where the president.
The aspect of having a VP position and all those things that they're trying to do, giving an Ambazonian like a vice president. This was what was supposed to be done long ago. But remember, even back then when they gave this vice president position to us, with the Fonchas and the Munas that we had, they were the vice president. And when Aijo was supposed to leave office, according to the constitution then, the person that was supposed to take office was an Anglophone. Because that was what the federal system was about. It was about sharing power. It was not that one person will be there forever. It was sharing power. When you have 5 years, the Anglophone will have it for 5 years. When you have Francophone has 5 years, Anglophone have it for 5 years. That was a deal about the federal system. That is why it's so difficult for them to go back to that system. Because they know that it will be sharing of power. It will not be like we having federal system, then one person, Francophone, will be president forever. That's why they don't even want to think about the federal system, because they know that they don't see Anglophone being a president. They don't see, even when Frundi won the election in 1992, they never gave him. He won the election. Yes, Frundi had strong support back then under the SDF. And the number one goal of the SDF, the SDF was created, was because of the Anglophone struggle. SDF was never created to be as an opposition party. The way Frundi finally was corrupted with these French people, they corrupt Frundi. The SDF wasn't created to be an opposition party. It was created to be a movement, an Anglophone movement. Back then with the Yondo Black. It was not Frundi that created SDF. It was Yondo Black. With the other people that created the SDF. It was created in the mindset of, that is when the name Ambazonia was born. That 1992, that they declared the independence, the first declaration of the Ambazonian people independence was then. That's when the movement started. So Frundi came and stole it and make it a political party, then finally end up there like that. That's how it ended. Yes. It had nothing to do with being an opposition party.
Is incapacitated. The president of the Senate takes over, I think, for 30 days, and then bring in a new leader. It doesn't say the prime minister. You know why? Because they have always given the post of the prime minister to Ambazonian. So their constitution is carefully crafted to the effect that an Ambazonian, Southern Cameroonian, should never lead that country. Should never lead that country. They are scared of any Ambazonian, even the hand clappers that they have among them, like Paul Tassom, Dion Gute, Paul Atanganji, all the Pauls, Paul Elong.
Yeah, so there comes, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you very much. There comes the meeting that was supposed to be held in Canada. We don't know. They said it's gonna hold October what to October what, but it concerned more of the people who say they are federalists. Let me put them up. Let's see. Those are the people. They're federalists. They are they had what called the CDN thing there that they are going to the CDN thing that they are going to. This is Tumi, right? This is Tumi. Then these are the main federalist people. The people who are fighting the independentists. Those are them. You see the Atanganji there, you see the all the Ngole, then they are there with this guy with the cap. This guy with the cap there, that's a Lelela Frigna. That's the governor. That's the governor of the Northern Zone. That's the guy there, and they're the one planning this issue of federalism. Because now they are enjoying there, so they don't see the need for any change of government. They don't see the need for any change of anything. They're having fun there, yes. So as you can see, you see all those people there. You see the other things that they have doing there. You see, they want to go to Canada. The Canadian government is opting to be a mediator, but we don't know the kind of mediation they want to do, because the Swiss government was already there to mediate this peace settlement. Now, when another party is trying to mediate, when okay, what is the issue with the Swiss negotiation? The Swiss government was there ready. All the leaders of the ACT team has been going there to wait for the La République. The Swiss government was laying the groundwork for the Swiss-led negotiation to take place peacefully. But at the end of the day, nothing happened. Okay? So what do you think can happen when you come now with another form of negotiation? That is, these are the people that are planning that kind of negotiation, because they are federalists. They are now ministers, they are now members of CPDM and all those things. They don't want to lose that. So they see Ambazonian as a threat to their leadership. They are enjoying the fat and the thievery of corruption of La République. They don't want to leave that. So all they can do is either creating, you see, all of them, the Tabetandos and all those people, they have created their own, they say their own Amber Boys. They have created their own groups, created all kind of, you had the one they call Atanganji Boys. They have created everything to dismantle. So even though the Republic want to negotiate this thing, these are the people that don't want negotiation, because they see negotiation as a threat to their own positions that they are holding now. And an independent Ambazonia is a threat to their positions. That is all what they prefer to stay there like that in Yaoundé. This one is Minister of Territorial Administration, that one is Prime Minister, this one is this one is that. That's how they want to stay. That's the clique that they have. They want to stay like that. Okay. This is what may so rest in peace, Christian Cardinal Tumi. Before he died, he made it clear that there have never been a marriage between the British Cameroon and the French Cameroon. Okay. They are living in like a concubine. That's what he said. And I will not doubt it that La République can still be part of this man's early death. Because all those people who were trying to favor this, the Ambazonian struggle, okay, they were killed silently, or you understand, La République, they are good at that. The way Bandam died, the way the other SDF senator died, it was crazy. If Wiba was not wise enough, he would have been dead. He would have been dead. After this speech
Listen to me.
in the parliament,
There has been, I'm telling you, Mr. Speaker, please, Mr.
that
Speaker,
is
please, with all due respect, I have been chased through the bushes for the past.
after this speech in the parliament, Wiba was threatened. Wiba had to run to Europe. Wiba now, Honorable Wiba now is in London. He's in London. He's in UK. He ran for his dear life after this speech.
Where in your standing orders do you have space for us to discuss the issues that have to do with the people of West Cameroon? You tell me, then I'll go and sit down. Because you don't seem to have an agenda for us.
That is,
You don't seem to have it.
you see, that is how they shut down our parliamentarian. Those are the parliamentarian. They don't want them to talk about the crisis. They don't want. This is what we was telling them. They don't want parliamentarians to talk about the crisis. Then they are running now. They went first to United Nations, begging for negotiation. Now they are going to Canada. They are the ones that did not want to discuss the conflict, but now they are rushing there for negotiation. Okay, and that is what is happening. But that is just listen to Honorable Wiba first that he must say. He said he stood his ground.
For them to bring my head to you, that is what you would have wanted. I simply say no. Mr. Speaker, can you now, on this floor, give the nation that you call yours, people can do what has been done to our children in West Cameroon. I call it West Cameroon because you will never take it out of our mouths again, because that is a territory in which we believe in freedom. To go out on the street and demonstrate is a basic right for us. And that is why we are saying that there are two Cameroons that came together. If you are telling us, like a state minister stood here last year and told us that what happened in Cameroon is like dropping a few cubes of sugar into a basin of water. Who is the sugar and who is the water? I'm asking the government bench of Cameroon. Who is that you rape our children? My brother's daughter has been raped in Boya. I swear to you, the government of this country, does the president of this country know that the governors and the DOs and all the administrators you have sent to West Cameroon are out there behaving exactly like an army of occupation? Our people have nowhere to go. We have made all the efforts. Our ancestors and our forefathers trusted you to go into a gentleman.
It is the same thing that is happening today. The DOs and the SDOs are acting as people of occupation. They have no other function than they are because the DOs and the SDOs were the people that were used by the colonial French back in the days. They were the people. So Honorable Buba is right. And it's the same thing that they are doing today. They are there as acting as the same colonial masters, because they are not elected officials. They are there because of appointments, and they are there for a mission to put down the people. Honorable Wiba is very right. Yes, he is right. He made it clear, and this is comment that he made. Is still working within the people till today, and what he said, he was very, very right. Very, very right. Let me bring up some of our brothers who made some very important comments there. Hey, Musa, what is your own concern about what you hear about the struggle? You know about. Yes.
La Republic fit bring more and more people where they will come.
I want you to.
They be leader.
I want you to talk about what is going on in the struggle. So, what is your take, Mr. Musa? Are you there?
and more people where they will can call themselves they be leader.
Right.
If you bring 100, but Ambazonian not na la Republic. Yes, Ambazonia, Southern Cameroon, not na la Republic, not na French Cameroon where they go bring they go create parties, Bulu parties can come deceive some people. No, you know what? Some people they talk because the Ambazonia people they get sense, they know who to rule and who to do what.
Right.
I just talking for this their boys. These were fighters, these were generals. They stay on alert. In the days ahead, this government go surprise them everything where they like them. This war, this time around, the war go change. May we not worry for the surrogates them where they call their name all over, talk everything. I know we call money name, but may we not be assured. May we not be assured. Say this leadership for Christopher and it go surprise with a material. It go surprise with a material where we not like them, we not go get them for down. This time around, the game go change. Whether we not like the La Republic like or we not like, this game go change. We get too lucky for this game. Some things them day we are not fit talking for inside these audios. We are no say material must go and it will pass. I know by myself, but I not fit talking inside audio. I just talk for this audio. Say this were fighters. Them way when I stand put when I lie for front. When I go get all material where when I like them before 1 year say over. When I go get all material, everything where when I need them for fight the war when I go get them. Make some man not mislead when I say leader. Some man they can call himself say he be leader. Even 20 people they know to follow you. The people they follow you now sorrow gets them. You think say no, this interim government be strong and more stronger and it will be very strong interim government. We never ever get them for inside Ambazonia.
Thank you very much.
Any man we want can call yourself say be leader. Maybe can call yourself say be leader. But the Ambazonia people they know what they do. In the days I have, we not go see the proofs.
But can you talk about the Ground Zero leadership? What you think and what type of or what is happening in Ground Zero? Some people talk about they want to create that what they call. So can you talk about that?
Yes, house still go on. I salute all. Then about some of us, we think say we follow the right side inside this struggle. Yes, we send out audios and we think say we do not the right things. I not see how some person could come out, call for unity. The call for unity after it work now for division. It's the things that people not to understand or how. If I come out today, I say they don't call for APP meeting, more than 4 people call APP meeting for the same hour. But at the promote Ground Zero leadership, it may say we don't get, it will go up to 5 leaders again.
Right.
I think that one makes sense.
It don't make sense.
Because I'm not understanding what is going on.
It don't make sense.
Yes, I don't want to call some man your name. Because I don't want to say make some man to call your name, my name. I'm not talking to say that man, that person a black leg. I'm not talking to say now the way we see say if we walk on the way forward, I don't understand, but we don't also will get government. And you use your eyes, see what will go on, starting from Ayuk Tabi, we come to Amene Bobga, we come now to Sako, we come now to Marianta, and we get the Restoration Council, where all of we know, and we know say the Restoration Council, they get power for do everything necessary. We know the one promote the Restoration Council, their power. And we know the one promote power for the interim government of the people.
So what do you think about that Ground Zero leadership now where they try where that put a talk say the one hand power for Ground Zero? Because you know they don't know the tax way they now who will be the leader for that one for Ground Zero where they talk say Ground Zero leadership. They know how it be difficult. Even the one the way they did for Nigeria, they still go arrest them for Nigeria. Now, all leadership go fit be for ground zero now. We never take, if we say we don't capture so one town or city will be controlled by us, then you can put a leader there. You have not even had one town or one city in your own keeping. Hey Musa, about that one.
Would they come out with audios for talk say no? We don't be divided, we get division. But would they promote again one more leadership, which is ground zero leadership?
I'm telling you.
It means say now, if we pick on Sako as a surrogate leader, we count Marianta as a surrogate leader, we count Ayaba as a kidnapper leader, we count this man, Akwanga, as a quiet leader. Then we will come now count Sissoko just as a leader because he get one man where they represent him. We will go now count ground zero leadership. How many? For the people where they want unity, they call for unity, they pretend for unity. They talk about unity, but they promote ground zero leadership.
Ground zero leadership.
How?
It's so funny.
My question for these people say, who be leader for that ground zero leadership?
Good.
And one must know who be leader for that ground zero leadership. You know if you call leader now something where you get some man where you go leader.
I'm telling you.
Who be the ground zero leadership? Because
even
all of we know say ground zero leadership. If really ground zero leadership in there, they can think say Sissoko we're not going to find leader for some place. Sissoko forbid the ground zero leader. He called for we are independent.
I say, how about you talk Abdul Karim where he be did Abdul Karim where be did he try for gather people them together. No, they don't arrest it too. Now other man will be leader for that ground zero where they don't arrest them or they don't go lock out jail. Sissoko their own way they go right for Nigeria go arrest them. Now if you be leader for that place, you know if you be.
Nigeria, Cameroon successfully go catch him for the bring and put him for the dungeon. Yes. Then look now, Abdul Karim, where they just suspect he say he follow. We are struggling the idea now for side for dungeon. Any person that for the instant where Cameroon government they check even their funds, if you talk, they call, they check your forces. If you talk everything concerning Ambazonian, you will face death penalty for Cameroon. All of you will know this.
I'm telling you.
We never promote material where we fit defend one territory where to get them. We don't sing this thing over and over. We never promote material them where these boys them get for rule and defend.
It's so funny, bro.
Because I think say ground zero leadership, some man go stand where they go support ye, where they go donate this money enter for your hand, then this boy them go get the money easily. Right. If that is the case. You don't know about this ground zero leadership, but some people they promote ground zero, but they fight now for unity, but they promote ground zero leadership.
Now they promote them.
Let some man explain them for me how that ground zero leadership work and how it be.
My brother, thank you very much. You don't talk am. Thank you, my brother. I will tell people them plenty all this while. They don't know how this ground zero leadership will work. If you say easy for just take people put for ground zero day, it's not easy. You know, it's not easy. I go bring up some other brother way. Brother Sama Thomas, I want me you come up can talk your own to think about this thing because this issue the way that they happen for this struggle, so plenty they happen, but now on our way on a for this struggle and nothing the way that happen for this struggle, fine. Yeah. Now I go come talk to the way you know very well. You don't be a very, very strong person where you don't really promote collaboration for this trouble. But people they don't always talk so you be black leg, you be this, especially Sako. When you be the talk that time, where you be there, where you be the being at this very powerful speaker, where you be the talk all the time, you the acts of collaboration, you the acts of this, all man they condemn them. Brasama Thomas.
This Ojogobe hit the iron when it is still hot.
Right.
That's the title of this audio. Hit the iron when it is still hot.
Yes.
You see, about 3 years ago, I mean that was 2017, I will be very, very furious with Dr. Fall.
Right.
And I will call Dr. Fall for express my frustration with you. I asked Dr. Fall, say, how we go do for outside here? I know around 2017 or 2008. Now, I asked Dr. Fall, how we go do for outside here to fight for their freedom?
Then they create government.
They fight for go for United Nations, for plead for United Nations on their situation. We will therefore outside they write letters for United Nations.
When I told you right,
and they inside prison, they write their own letters for the same United Nations, they contradict things. We will therefore outside here, they struggle for say, we send a delegation for United Nations. They will inside prison, they send a delegation for United Nations. Where will stop for them now? You look at your friend, they look you. The information when I took her and come with the same information.
Not the same. Not be the same.
I be asked Dr. Fosse, we know they repeat the exact thing with Indele and Foncha be doing for 1961.
Exactly.
If we repeat not just that same thing, what result we won't get them because the end result not the same result Indele and Foncha get for 1961.
Exactly. The same.
For 2020, I will be furious with Sako. Because when it become with the lies, I will put us in a lies. Say your friend diplomat, they don't tell you, say make a match for ground zero. More buy uniform, the match of ground zero for proof say that they control ground zero. It be on record, say me I be oppose them.
Right. I remember.
But the majority will go with that notion. Say make go match. I begin for bow out. Because my lone voice, you need to stop anything.
Right.
Okay. 1st October become a pass. We match. People for ground zero be match now because say Sako will give them that uniform. Because today that uniform so never even still reach a majority of the fighting force for ground. But the uniforms don't be paid.
But about the issue of that issue where they be talk of you being a black leg and all those things, where Sako be accuse you. So you be a black leg. If you talk about that one where they be talk, say you be a black leg and because you the one made they get collaboration, all those people now they be there against you.
When I be start for talks, we go come together.
Yes.
Sako then deny, blackmail me. All a bibina because say I be one for be the only king for forest, lion of forest. Where if you roar, no other lion in it again. Because of this division for we here, Western diplomat the same. African diplomat, because I need to count how many times Professor P.L.O. Lumumba used to say, make we come together. Because this division need to help us.
They help.
But because say, we will not talk say, okay, this soldier for this place, for this place, now Mizam County, it is control. Mizam County, it then have under the IG of Sako, so the IG of Sako, now they run Mizam County, when they come for Mizam County and for Mankona say no. That, you know, when I talk to will make a pay allegiance for one man for this struggle. Sama Thomas, not for day. The forces in Mancon will not pay any allegiance to anybody.
Right.
They are fighting. They fight for liberating the Southern Cameroon, not for liberate Sako. Not for defend Sako at all cost. Because I don't even see what you Sako they do. I be asked a lot of questions severally. I say, why Sako even on earth he go be the leader of the Southern Cameroon struggle? Because he on county boya. Nothing in it take place with him.
Nothing in it take place.
So he is Sako, he the lead now with them.
That aspect we will be talking about that Abdul Karim where they be accused Abdul Karim saying a black leg and all those things too. If you talk about this thing, because they be talk about say Abdul Karim, na this, na that. I don't know whether you be.
It's a liability. That is how I call Sako. Because truly he is a liability. So make it lead this struggle. I say it doesn't go that way. And when the liability, it be the lead, it be even fit for humble yourself.
Right.
He listen to advice for see how we fit move this struggle forward. Because Sako has been the most opportunistic guy in the entire Southern Cameroon struggle. The amount of money we don't enter for Sako since the inception of the Southern Cameroon struggle, no leader never see that money with the eye. Even a splint of that money, no leader see him.
We
but
get a lot
Sako
of money.
don't get that money more than 5 times. Year out. He misuse them.
He misuse them.
I use the word deliberately. He misuse them and even embezzle some. The reason why Sako, he knew everyone will listen for talks and make we even bring in other frontline leaders for work with and for talk with one voice. Now because everyone for be the only sense out there.
Good. I don't talk that.
That is why Sako be chose. If you see anybody, he will raise head up like Abdul Karim on the ground. He send the hunting dogs for their back, demonize him. I say, hey, there is something going wrong here. We should listen and turn and stop this thing. I be tell Sako then. I say, Sako, the way we are hunting dogs, they follow for Abdul Karim back. If you not stop them, you don't come out publicly but talk something.
Right.
It would be saying like you descend them, so they do what they insult Abdul Karim.
Exactly.
Sako no be ever come out, even just with a word, for talks to make the hunting dogs. They stop for doing what they do with Abdul Karim.
So, make we come back, Mr. Sama Thomas. You talk some very important talk for the. Make we come back.
We must unite, and we come out for one family. Then we must unite, and we are bearing the same mother. We must unite, and we are speaking the same dialect. I say we must unite. No, we are bringing all people for one. We must unite. Make I tell you something that I see for life. If it's something nobody do you, they no feel no they think. The more way you bend down for look manyash, and the more you they expose your own mumu, the lamb, the body kill am. You say you be king for jungle. Now who feel be like Papa got an oversee, I'm an over here. Make we reason all together, and we live as one people. Hey, trouble, come in, we no feel come out for one family, come we one separate. No, we are bringing all people for one. We must unite. We are bearing the same father. We must unite, and we come out for one family.
Thank you for that shot. So as as you listen to our brother Sama Thomas, you go understand where to go for this struggle where, now they put in that way, they don't be for this struggle where they go tell you a lot of things then. Okay? And Mr. Sama Thomas, if you tell me about the crisis where it happen within the cabinet for Sakoda, then when you be advise them, say this issue where it happen, so it go destroy the struggle a lot. It go bring a lot of division between when also former President Sako be the deny for solve the problem where our current president be take and go for it, so they go report now for the Restoration Council before they be drag Sakona may come for that this thing. If you tell us more about that.
Never leg. I gave them one that you guys have given all the legs. But one is left, green, yellow leg, that you people haven't given. You people should give that one as well. They're not jam. When I begin win, say crisis, a day in Sako's cabinet.
Right.
Concerning Chris Ano and Iringwa. I be put out an audio. I say, I know say, when I go talk to me, I be black leg and I be red leg. But my advice for Sako, now say make it do everything possible for reconcile the situation between Chris and the cabinet.
Right.
Because if he leave Chris, make Chris go. I don't know whether the IG and cabinet it go stand again for the next 2 months or 6 months. As if I will be a prophet of doom. But I will put out now a prophecy.
That's a prophecy.
Where it go happen. Even before 2 months.
Yes.
Sako never listened to that advice. In his lack of wisdom.
Lack of wisdom.
He go appoint Fritz so send a Secretary of Communication. In their lack of wisdom, they go bring someone saying Martin Mungwa was the Secretary of Communication. Where if you ask Martin Mungwa, when he say the Secretary of Communication now for Sako, you whatever thing where they say now whatever where they call him.
But if you talk about that visit where the president go visit for Nigeria, where go give food for the 1st of October. The 1st of October, then they start talk say they go poison the food. They say they go see picking them. 1st of October, when a day for commemorate our independence, they talk say President Chris Godin for go give food with no poison they said, but on the contrary, President Sako has never been to Nigeria. Former president, he has never been there. So why is it so difficult for them to accept or acknowledge something people they did try to do? Because I don't know why they be so controversial. Hey, Mr. Sama Thomas.
I say he communicate now with you. You know what you communicate because everything we man to Mumba he communicate them. Now how for call others how to say they be black legs, they be red legs. You go over there, everything where they discuss them. Never talk how is Chris Ano. He don't go for La Republique. He and John Gucci, they do whole meetings. They go up. They don't go for Chris Ano. Come on, go for Nigeria for visiting refugees.
I'm telling you,
what Sako has never dared, even in his wildest dream, in his dream.
Sako don't even go to Nigeria.
Despite the fact that he has all the opportunity and
all
the money to done this job to go and visit our refugees down there in Nigeria even 50 times.
I'm telling you.
Sako had never moved.
Never.
Chris has left Nigeria when Ayoktabe was picked up.
He was there.
To make a press conference with the Nigerian press.
Exactly.
to investigate what happened.
What happened?
That Ayoktabe and the rest were picked up. This time around again, Chris have left to Nigeria to console our refugees and give them hope. Despite the fact that he needed that consolation more than any other Southern Cameroonian at the moment.
I'm telling you.
What did Sako do? Sako get for bribe a misguided fellow, make it go for cause problem. For say Chris don't come with poison from La Republic for game for refugees, and refugees will chop that poison, then die.
Oh my God.
He stand for in his shame. Abi, it is shame now more than ever before. For say make Marianta come see, say Chris give poison for refugee them. Make Sako come see, say Chris give poison for refugee them. Make Comrade Akwanga come say Chris give poison for refugee them. The question, like Comrade Langme asked him, how many refugees don't die after they chop that poison?
Exactly.
And you where they be saying you say me go, they go do that job. You know being a refugee too. If you been a refugee, you not get your own head like a human being. You being as on dumb where anybody go straight for any place, call you. From Europe, say go for this place here, go do this thing there for you, and you know see that thing where you go for do and not be fine thing. You carry your head, you go for go do them.
You go do them.
It means that when I did for Nigeria, they call us as a refugee, so we don't get hate. We don't even pass for class 1 for primary school. You where you will do that job one day, you go explain who be send you. You know disappear in thin air. One day, you go explain who be sending for go do that job.
I'm telling you.
And because of you, a lot of things don't go wrong for Nigeria.
It don't go wrong.
Where some of our people until today, they say they inside bushes for Nigeria, where they run because of your action. You will go down for it one day. The day of reckoning is coming, and the person who sent you will come out. You and him. When I go explain who say where that poison will come out. Where Chris can go to Nigeria. Even I don't explain them, we go put so that other bomb for some part one trouble.
Thank you, bro. I will cut today because of time. We are running short of time. So ladies and gentlemen, we'll be talking a little bit about the issue in Africa where you have this coup going on. Okay, you have this coup that took place in Burkina Faso. You had the one in Mali, but you all know what transpired. Okay, you can see this map, which will show you all the coups that have taken place in Africa. All the different coups that have been taking place in Africa. And you see, this is the map. You see all the coups. And they say almost 14 of these coups in Africa were done by the French government. You will surprise that this thing is happening and this thing you see like this document is showing you everything that the Malian military leader Assimi Goïta has cancelled 8 out of the 11 secret agreements signed between the former Malian government and France. Remember that this agreement was the agreement that was done by the French government to usurp all these French African countries, and La Republic is one of them. Okay, if you are not wise enough, you won't be able to understand something like this, where this government has cancelled 8. This is annulé. Okay, one of them is that, imagine, one of them, they talk of Mali must, the one of them was the agreement that will make you, that they say Mali must side with France in case of any global war. Okay, Mali must renounce military partnership with any other nation and require authorization from France for any new military alliance. The right of France to deploy its troops anywhere in Mali to defend France's interests. Rights to confiscate Malian reserve. I mean, which country can come and sign all this kind of thing? And this is happening in all the Francophone countries. This is it, all like this. All. I want to bring up this lady. It's called Arikana. Honorable Arikana of all. She will explain to you detail about this French thing that has...
Our people must know.
Listen to her.
And nothing but the truth. France remains as a member of the UN Security Council. And yet France today remains one of the biggest perpetrators of human rights violations in Africa. And everybody is giving it, the world is giving it a blind eye. United Nations. It is a body that's supposed to be the watchdog for human rights violations. France remains the biggest risk to peace and security in Africa today. And nobody is talking about it. France did something absolutely deplorable. Made the former colonies, because they still are colonized, sign a document which they called the Pact for the Continuation of Colonization. Dig this. On one hand, we're giving you your independence, but on the other hand...
So, this is Mrs. Arikana. She's been a very big voice when it comes to Pan-Africanism. And she's saying here that France is the worst country in the world that's committing human rights violations, that's committing all the crimes, and is the worst country in the terms of security for Africa. So anything that France is doing in Africa is just to subdue the African nations. Listen to her. She will tell you more detail about what France is doing in Africa.
Sign this document that you are agreeing to continue to be colonized. So two countries said, no way, Jose, we ain't doing this. Guinea and Mali. The French could not understand it. How could an African country dare not want to be affiliated with France? So in their anger, history tells us that they went into those two countries, took everything that they thought they had brought, proceeded to pour concrete into the sewage pipes, completely devastating the two economies. This was also done as a way of letting the other countries know that should you refuse to sign this document, this is the fate that awaits you.
What she's trying to explain here is what those pacts that France signed with these French African countries. But this one is really detailed, because she will tell you how much money each country, these Francophone countries, Cameroon included, don't forget. I'm bringing this because you should know why we have to leave this thing that they call union with these people. Because this is the same thing that Biya signed with France. It's not different. I'm bringing this because you should know what Biya has signed with the France. It's the same pact with all the Francophone countries. If you don't sign this thing, they will remove you from office. If you don't sign this thing, they will remove you from office. Okay? It's very clear. If you don't sign this pact, the French government will remove you from office. So Biya has signed this pact.
So the rest of the country signed the pact for the continuation of colonization remains in place. What is special about this? The pact for the continuation of colonization said, 1, you shall deposit 85% of your bank reserves with the French Central Bank under the control of the French Minister of Finance. The French government will take all your monies, collectively invest your monies in the French stock market under the French name. And you don't have to know what the returns are. Should you wish to access some of your money, keep in mind that countries are now left with only 15% of their reserves. You have to submit your country's financial report. And if approved, you get to access up to 20% of your deposits from the previous year as a loan at commercial interest rates. I'm going to repeat that. Should you want to access some of your own money?
So this is to explain a little. Let me explain a little bit, because what she's saying, okay, countries like Guinea and Mali have cancelled this thing. That's what I showed you in that photo. You saw what the president of Mali has, about 8 of them, he has cancelled all the, everything. He left only 2 out of the 8. He cancelled 8 out of 11, left just 3 of those packed. Yeah, that's what she's saying. Look at Guinea and Mali, because the French government has destroyed the economies of these countries. When France goes to these countries, is to usurp the resources. They have nothing good that they can do to these African countries, because the French people don't even have any resources. If these African countries were not there today, this French government will fall. France will fall. So if France go to your country, they cripple everything. But imagine, 80% of your money goes to French bank. Each country, you have to give 80% of your money. So what are you keeping? If you are giving 80%, then to borrow that money, to get your money back, you have to go and borrow it from France with interest. Oh my God. That is what La République is going through too. I'm bringing this because, Guinea, Mali, all these African countries, you saw what they did in Burkina Faso, right? You saw what happened in Burkina Faso, where you have that country, these boys went into their house there and in the embassy, they destroy everything. Countries are sending France out. How will we be staying in this La République? Maybe some of these people who are talking about the federation, they don't even know what they're saying. Because we'll be colonized, and France is colonizing La République now. Then we'll still be under them, under neo-colonization. Oh my God. Let this lady explain well, because maybe I'm not explaining well to you guys.
You have to submit your own country's financial report. And if approved, you get it as a loan at commercial interest rate. So you go from having a humongous credit with France to now owing France for borrowing your own money, a loan that you'll never be able to finish paying. They also said, all your minerals discovered and yet to be discovered, French companies have the first right of refusal. You go to those countries today, all major contracts, French companies have the first right of refusal. The water supply, the power supply, the mining fixtures, the oil rigs, roads construction, airports, French companies have the first right of refusal. If anything is left, the people in your country may get it.
So, this is just an excerpt of what France is doing to these countries, because if you see countries have started canceling that pact, it's a sign, it's a very bad sign now. France will be trembling, because if 2 countries, Mali and Guinea, have cancelled that pact, it's a colonial pact. That is why when we say we are under colonial rule, maybe some of you don't understand. La République has signed this pact. This pact, maybe you did not see this pact. Listen to this girl. This girl is Malian girl. Is telling Macron, don't tell us that you are coming to help us. we are the ones helping you people because we have the resources. Listen to this girl.
I don't think you'd have to be a genius
this
to know
parliamentarian.
The last thing the Horn of
They're
Africa
talking how
needs
France is entering
more foreign military bases, more weapons, and more European meddling.
These places and
what we call our strategic relationship isn't about human flourishing. It's about the EU's ambitions as a superpower. There's now a new great game in the Horn of Africa. Greater and lesser powers are pockmarking the place with military bases. France, the US, China, Germany, Japan, Italy, Saudi Arabia all have a presence in the tiny area of Djibouti alone. Mercenaries are swarming in from all quarters. The entire region is being militarised. War is in the air. And what about the people facing climate and food insecurity? None of this benefits them. We talk about instability, but we only make it worse. We flood the place with weapons, hand over the profits to European arms companies and charge the bill to our citizens. And then with the carnage, we go back in and we do it all again. It's a racket. Strategic relationship, it's one thing after another, isn't it? Really, it's the same as it ever was. And all I can say is, God save Africa from Europeans offering help.
She nearly. Listen to this one.
Je veux juste rappeler
Macron,
à Monsieur le Président que ce qui se passe
this
au
lady
Sahel
tell Macron, don't come to our
les
country and be
conséquences
telling us.
de ce qui a été fait en Libye. Cette intervention en Libye où vous avez oublié, quand je parle de vous, je ne parle pas de votre personne, je parle de votre position. Vous avez oublié l'existence de l'Union africaine. Monsieur le Président, vous l'aimez le dire. Nous sommes au Mali pour aider le Mali. Si nous n'étions pas venus au Sahel, il n'allait pas avoir de gouvernement actuellement au Mali. J'ai envie de vous dire que si ce n'était pas les Africains, il n'allait pas avoir de France aujourd'hui. Nous sommes liés, nous sommes liés, nous sommes liés. Arrêtez de dire que vous êtes venus nous aider. Non, parce que le terrorisme ne menace pas que le Mali. Vous êtes aussi menacés. Arrêtez de nous culpabiliser sur une position de victime.
Mais Adam, je ne vous culpabilise pas.
Monsieur le Président, je n'ai pas terminé.
Je ne vous culpabilise pas. J'essaie de restaurer justement un dialogue.
No, Macron cannot answer this. This lady is telling Macron point blank that don't say you are coming to help us because France don't have any resources. You come to Africa but to take from Africa. So don't say you're coming to help us. Then you're bringing your military to come and help us to fight the jihadis or the terrorists. When terrorism is a global crisis thing, it's not something only for Africa. That's what the lady is telling Macron. Listen to what Macron is saying.
Dialogue réciproque et de respect.
Oui.
On n'est pas là simplement pour nos intérêts quand on arrive au Mali en 2013. C'est un fait. Par contre, ce que vous avez dit sur la Libye, je l'ai dit plusieurs fois comme président, je partage ce que vous avez dit. La Libye, on n'a pas respecté la souveraineté d'un peuple, et ça, c'est une erreur.
D'accord, merci d'avoir reconnu ça. Et si vous reconnaissez ça, vous allez voir que ce qui se passe au Sahel n'est que les conséquences de cette intervention. Donc, vous êtes au Sahel pour corriger l'erreur que vous avez commise en Libye, et en corrigeant ces erreurs, vous êtes en train de commettre d'autres erreurs. Monsieur le Président, je vous rappelle que l'intervention militaire étrangère n'a jamais réglé un problème. La Libye, elle est comment aujourd'hui? L'Afghanistan, c'est comment aujourd'hui? Donc l'intervention militaire ne va pas arranger les choses. Je ne voudrais pas que mon pays soit comme la Libye. Prenez votre responsabilité et surtout arrêtez de dire que nous sommes là pour vous aider. Non, vous n'êtes pas là pour nous aider. On est ensemble. On a un ennemi commun. On le combat ensemble. Et pour finir, ces sorties des ces derniers jours entre vous et les autorités maliennes, c'est juste une honte. Parce que c'est une honte. Vous avez le même ennemi. Et l'ennemi, il est grandi. L'ennemi, il prend de l'ampleur dans ça.
Dites-leur. Faites-moi plaisir. Dites-leur.
Du coup, arrêtez ça. Arrêtez ces discours paternalistes. Dire que nous allons vous aider. Non, nous n'avons pas besoin d'aide. Nous avons besoin de coopération. Nous avons besoin de partenariat. Et nous sommes liés par l'histoire, mais nous sommes liés par les dangers. Nous sommes liés par les défis.
Mais je suis 100% d'accord avec ce que vous venez de dire.
Macron cannot answer. That is, and today, because of this girl, I'm sure that's why Malian government has cancelled all the pact with France. Because of this challenge, this girl, the Malian government has cancelled all. I said out of 11 of that pact, 8 has been cancelled. We know that La Republique still has that pact with France. Don't forget that pact. If you see that pact is so disgusting because 80% of our funds is going back to France. When we are there saying that we want to federation, we want federation. You don't even know what is going on in the sphere of colonialism. 80% is going to France. Then if we need money now, we have to go and beg France, please, we beg for some money. You are taking it as loan. Oh my God. Where is that this thing? Look at these countries that coup d'etat have happened. All those countries. So many of them caused by France. All those countries that has passed through the coup. All those countries. All those countries that you see that had that they have been passing through different coup d'etat is caused by France. That's why when you see this information here, look at what those countries have cancelled. They cancel it. Cancel all those deals that is signed with France. They have annulé. That's what you see on that photo like that. It's the Malian government and the Guinean government, 2 governments that have cancelled that pact. That's it. See, long list of things that France signed with them. Long list. It's all, look at what they cancel. Because that pact is just like keeping you in bondage, that you cannot do anything. So any country keeping that is just putting the people in bondage. Because you cannot have your money. 80% of what you make, you have to send to France. Okay? You put in France bank account. Then you have to borrow the money. If you want the money, if you need money, maybe you need money to do something for your account, you have to now apply. You send an application to take it as loan. Then you pay interest. Oh my God. When I hear these things, I'm just like, Then the minerals and major, all those power supply, airports, oil, okay, military. They say all these things will be exploited by France. Then they'll give you small thing to hold. That's why you see in Cameroon, look at Cameroon seaport, the Douala is controlled by Bolloré. It's French company. Cameroon train is controlled by Bolloré. It's French company. Cameroon road construction like Razé, all these other companies, they are French companies. Cameroon oil, the oil, Total is French company. So these are all, they are using companies to exploit resources so that it should not be like France is coming, but it's like the French, but they are passing through their companies to exploit the resources. Okay. Imagine that 26 of this coup, as you are seeing like this on this board, 26 of this coup d'etat that happened, 16 are from the former French colony. 16 of this coup d'etat. Look at the board. Look at all these countries. 16 has been caused by former French colonies. Okay. 22 African leaders have been assassinated. 22. Done by France. France were behind it. That's why you see African presidents, they are afraid of their life, because if you are opposing France, know that your life is not going to last for long. Okay? Yes. So imagine how much money France is making from borrowing taking their own money and taking loan from them. France is making huge amount of money from these African countries. More than $500 billion is made from this money to trillions or trillions of dollars that France is collecting from Africa. Every year, France collects more than $500 billion. Something that can construct roads and bridges across Africa. But they can keep in French bank. Then France is making money from what they are coming to borrow from the bank. I don't know what kind of pack is that. If this is not Nyongo, what we call Nyongo? Because you cannot take your money and go and put in French bank because you are using the French currency. You see, that's why I like these English countries. Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa. They have their currencies. You cannot stay in colonial policy for all your life. Look at what they're still using, French franc. That's why France is using that advantage, taking their monies and putting in the French reserve. Then they go and borrow the money again. Okay. So for how long are these countries going to live in this kind of situation? How long? It is high time until the black people realize themselves these French African countries will remain in bondage. That is why we cannot stay with these people. No matter what they do, we will not. Because this is really going out of hand when you see what France is doing to these countries. And La Republic is part of it. How do you stay in this kind of countries? Look at long list of things that they are putting. Look at that list there. La Republic has signed this pact. Other French African countries are quitting this nonsense called pact with France. But La Republic is still there. It's still part of that pact with other French African countries. Then you want us to join La Republic in their pact that they have signed, sending money to France. France is using their resources, taking everything. I tell you people last time, Macron came to Cameroon to tell Biya to leave that Swiss-led negotiation. Because he said that Swiss-led negotiation was leading him towards separation. So he wanted something else. He said, let him lead that negotiation, then he will go and discuss with Canada so that Canada can organize something for us. So all that thing is sham. We will not buy that nonsense. That thing that they are doing is just waste of time. They should not waste their time with that. We will not go to that I think they call negotiation, whatever they're calling it. It's a waste of time. So we will not buy that. Yes. So even though they will go and discuss what they go and discuss, it will be the same like what they did for national dialogue. It has nothing to do with our struggle. We have said it time and again. The only negotiation that will really have impact in this struggle is a one that they have a third-party mediator. Anything short of that is not going to work. Because we know how La Republic have fooled us in the past, have fooled our parents in the past. So we're not going to buy that thing. We're not going to buy it. So anything without a third party has, like Switzerland was opting to mediate, it's not going to work. Yeah, it's not going to work. We are not fools this time around. Yes. They can do what they want. They can go and have national dialogue. They can do what they did in Yaoundé there. Go and eat bobolo and beans. That thing is not any that's what they call monologue. Monologue is when you talk among yourself. That's monologue. But dialogue is when you talk with some other person. So when they go and talk among them there with CPDM, it's monologue. So we have explained to them this thing in Canada is non-existent or null is not existent. Just forget about it. Our president, Chris Arnold, will not be going there. Forget about it. It has nothing to do with the struggle. We just want something that will have a third party. Like what was happening in Switzerland. There was Switzerland government and there was the people of Ambazonian and the people of La Republique. That is what we call negotiation. Dialogue when they use dialogue all the time, it's about talking with somebody that is trying to, without a third party. But negotiation is very important. So we know the difference between dialogue and negotiation. They are not the same thing. So when they are only focusing on dialogue, it's very wrong. And understand that international negotiation is between two countries. The national dialogue is between maybe two within the country. It's not international negotiation. So the Republic want to make it as if it's an international negotiation, whereas it's doing a national dialogue, which is different. So that is the trick like for me is playing. He's playing out with those words. That's how they are playing with decentralization and centralization. They are using those words to fool us. We are very smart with that. Anything that is decentralization is not federation. Anything that is federation is not independent. So we have passed that level far. So at the past, our parents were begging for federation. We all know that. They were begging that please, we need federation. They were locking them up. They closed everything. They hit the thing. That's why even SDF was created because of that. SDF was created because of La République thing that they were doing. Okay? And that's why when we talk of these things, people don't understand. These guys that are behind this thing are these federalists. They're the one engineering behind. They say, no, keep on fighting. Keep on fighting. These are the people, federalists. They want to tune it, but they will fail because we are moving to the next stage of this struggle. We are for the past 5 years we have been fighting for stage 1. We are going now to the next stage, and they will hear us. They will hear us. Yeah, in the days ahead. So let them know. Okay. So I just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for watching, and we are gonna meet again and talk much about the struggle.
My brother Jeja Simo Kusaikende inie aya Simo Kusaikende Amatina banda yao Amatina ngana o Amati ebolo yao brother Jeja Simo Kusaikende My brother Jeja Simo Kusaikende inie aya Simo Kusaikende My brother Jeja Simo Kusaikende inie aya Simo Kusaikende Amatina bana o Amatina ngana